I'm Melissa.
Hi, I'm Jillian.
Hi, I'm David.
And together we're Disabled DISventures. I have several medical conditions that limit my mobility. I call myself an ambulatory wheelchair user. I use a wheelchair or a mobility scooter anytime I'm outside the house in order to get around. I like to say that we're a disability lifestyle and travel.
We do videos on theme parks, cruise ships, and other places that we visit.
So come with us on our next adventure. I'm going to explain to you today how to use the DAS Pass at Walt Disney World and Disneyland in depth. Welcome in. My name is Melissa and I am an ambulatory wheelchair user. I have several medical conditions and one of them does require anymore that I utilize the DAS. Now, I'm going to cover some tips and tricks with this as well. So the first thing that I need to explain, the DAS, or the Disability Access Service, is what it actually stands for at Disneyland and Walt Disney World, is not for ambulatory problems, or mobility problems. So if you use a cane, a wheelchair, a mobility scooter, and the wheelchair doesn't matter if it's a powered or manual, if you have any mobility concerns at all with standing, the DAS is not what you will use. So I will quickly explain what the mobility people get. Most of the attractions are now accessible at both parks. Not all, but most. If they are not wheelchair accessible, then what you will do is you will go to the attraction and they will give you a return time to come back. And most of the time, if they're not wheelchair accessible, you will be utilizing the exit of the attraction, not the entrance. So, for example, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad at both parks has stairs in the entrance. So you would go to the attraction if you cannot use the stairs, either due to a wheelchair use, a mobility scooter use. If you cannot physically handle the stairs, you will go to the attraction and you will get a return time from the cast member at the attraction. If the line is handicap accessible, you will just get in the normal queue line. All right, so DAS Pass. What is DAS for? DAS is really for the people who have other medical conditions that they cannot wait in the long, possibly longer queue lines. So it is for people with autism that can't understand why they have to wait. And so, possibly they will get upset waiting in line, to give them an alternative waiting area. It is for people with crowd anxiety who can't be surrounded by people and not be able to get out of line, to give them an alternate waiting area. I utilize it for a bladder condition. I have to be able to exit a line quickly in order to reach a bathroom. And I've had instances where I've been in a line at Disneyland and I was not able to exit the line because having a mobility problem, I do need to use a mobility scooter. So I can't just quickly get out of a line wherever I am. And I have had instances where I have had accidents due to that fact. So I have started to utilize the DAS Pass for me. But I only tend to use it when the line's over 30 minutes. About 30 minutes, I tend to be good. If the line is over 30 minutes, that tends to get me into gray areas. You would need to utilize the DAS for whatever fits you in your unique situation. So again, who the DAS is for. People with non-mobility medical problems that cannot wait in a longer queue line, that need an alternate waiting experience. So, how do you get the DAS? And now there are two ways. You can, as it has always been, shown up to the park, either utilize the guest services at the entrance of the park. Each one has one, like with Disneyland, it's City Hall. With, say, Hollywood Studios, when you enter the park, to the left, there is the guest services area. Or you would find the blue umbrellas that say guest services in the parks. They still have them. They're still there. So, and you would tell them, I need to sign up for the DAS Pass. And they're going to ask you why you need it. At this point, do not give them any diagnoses. They don't care. What they need to know is what happens to you if you have to wait for a longer period of time in a queue line. So just explain it to them. What I say is I have a bladder condition, and if I cannot make it out of the line to use the restroom, I will have an accident. And I have been stuck in lines before. And then what they say is, yeah, okay, so give me your park pass, give me your annual pass, give me your magic band, depending upon which park you're in, and what you have. You will provide said item. They will scan it, take a picture of you, add the people in your party with you, and you can have up to 6 people on a DAS, so you plus 5 other individuals, and then you will go about your day. There is now a way you can pre-register on the website, both with Disney World and Disneyland, to where you can do a virtual interview. It's the same interview. I've done it with Disney World. I will be soon doing it with Disneyland. But it's the same interview. They ask you the same questions. They take a quick photo of you through your webcam. And then they ask you who is in your party. So that way they can add you. And then the really cool thing about it is now you can make 2 DAS selections in advance per day you're going to be there after they approve you. So that's really cool. Now, with as many people that register for DAS, there is long wait times. So I'm going to give you some tricks with this way of registering. First of all, you got to do it first thing in the morning. I know getting up that early when they open up at like 7 or 8 in the morning, depending upon, and also for me, like when I had to register for Walt Disney World, because I live in Arizona and Walt Disney World is in Florida, I had to get up even earlier. I know it sucks. And your travel agent can't do this for you. You have to do it. But I only had to wait. The first day I tried, I did it in the afternoon. I was on for like 2 or 3 hours. I finally gave up. The next day I tried, I got in, only had to wait like 10 minutes. And it was super easy. So first thing in the morning is the way to go. Now, if you don't want to mess with all that, you can still register in the park. It's still going to work for you. It's still going to be the same experience you had before. You just won't get to make those 2 DAS selections in advance. Is there a benefit to that? Yes and no. The day I did it, there wasn't a whole lot there. As a matter of fact, the first one wasn't even available until 11 a.m. So, I had to wait. So when you get into the park, you can make your first one, even if you have your 2 selections. My first one was at 11. My second one was at 2. So once I made that first one, I had to wait for the other 2 in order to make my third, because you can technically only hold one at a time. So if I had just gone in the park and got my first one, it's possible I could have gotten earlier ones. But we were having lunch and doing other things, so it wasn't a big deal. It kind of depends on how you want to plan your day and how jam-packed with attractions you want it to be. So, is it a benefit to make them in advance? Kind of. But again, that depends on how you want your trip to be. Now, once you've gone through and get into the park, you can now make them on your phone through your Disneyland or My Disney Experience app. That is so amazing. I have been wanting this for so long. I don't have to get into the park, register. Either go to the attraction, like at Walt Disney World, you had to go to the attraction, or the Blue and Disneyland, you had to go to the Blue Umbrella. So I don't have to go in, register, make my first one with the person at the Blue Umbrella, go on the ride, either go to the other attraction or find a Blue Umbrella to make my next one. I can immediately, as soon as you check in, you can open your app, see what ones are available, and make your next DAS selection. It made my day so much simpler. I don't have to pull out the map, figure out where I need to go, figure out what attraction we need to go to when we get off the attraction we're on, figure out how close a person with the Blue Umbrella is to us. Like, it was so easy. Now, a couple things to note. You have to be in the park you want to make DAS selections for. So, like, you can't be in Disneyland and make one for DCA. I tried that in Walt Disney World, and they were like, no, you have to be in the park you're in. Also, make sure everyone scans in, because I did have an issue where someone in my party didn't scan in, and we had to go to guest services because I couldn't make another selection with that person on my DAS because they technically already had one and you can only hold one at a time. So make sure everyone scans in. That way you don't have to spend a lot of time getting something like that removed. You can use DAS for some of the show type things, like in Walt Disney World. You can use it for Frozen. You can use it for, I believe you can use it for Frozen. You can use it for Indiana Jones. I don't know if you can use it for everything in Disneyland yet, because I don't know if everything's reopened in Disneyland yet. But you can look once it does reopen and once you're there and see what options are available to you. If you have never used one of the apps before, it's going to be a learning curve for you. But have a smartphone, have it downloaded before you go. Have your ticket attached to your app, whether it's Disney World or Disneyland, My Disney Experience or the Disneyland. Have your tickets attached, have your party attached, have everything ready to go. If you need help, reach out, ask someone to help you. Use a travel agent. They can help you set all that stuff up. I know I help my clients set all that stuff up. Reach out to me. I can try to help you. I'd be more than willing to help people. I am always willing to help wherever I can. And the most important thing is just to go to have fun. If you're at the parks, cast members should be able to help you as well. Go to guest services and be like, I've never done this before. Can you help walk me through it? And they'll help you. They're very nice about that. So I'm going to be doing an in-depth video on each park and all the lands in the park and what attractions are accessible and how they're accessible and in what ways they're accessible. So look out for all that coming up. And I've seen lately that people are saying that nobody does this. So please share out our content, like, subscribe, help us get the word out that we do accessibility in Disney parks. Thank you so much for watching. Have such a magical day.
Be sure to hit that like and subscribe and click the bell icon to be notified when we upload a new video or go live.
You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Pinterest.
You can support us on our Patreon. We have tiers starting at $1 per month.
Thank you for all your support. If you want to see more, click the video in your right-hand corner.